Las Vegas is quietly becoming one of the most powerful real estate markets in America, and nobody's talking about it. Everyone is still thinking that Las Vegas is a place that you just visit, a weekend city, a party destination. You fly in, you lose a bunch of money, you have fun, and then you fly home. But here's what's actually happening in this city right now, and it has nothing to do with the Strip. Las Vegas is in the middle of one of the most significant real estate transformations of any city in the United States. Talking about luxury towers going up, new construction communities selling out, middle income families planting roots, wealthy California buyers cashing out and buying in. And most people watching from the outside have absolutely no idea. But I do, because I live here, I sell here, and I watched this city transform for over 20 years. Let me show you what's actually going on. But before we get into that, my name is Chriscashjalem, 20-year plus Las Vegas local, Las Vegas licensed realtor, entrepreneur, father, content creator, and probably the most honest voice you're going to find on this city's real estate market, because I'm not a tourist. I'm not a developer, and I'm not trying to just sell you a dream. The real picture of what's happening here right now on the ground, in the neighborhoods where people actually live, because the data that's coming out of this market right now, the median home prices, the construction numbers, the buyer demographics, tell a story that genuinely is exciting if you understand what it means, and genuinely important if you're thinking about making a move. Let's go ahead and break it all down. Let me start with something fundamental that I think a lot of people still haven't fully processed yet. Las Vegas used to be on one thing: tourism, right? The Strip drove everything: hospitality, jobs, service, economy. The whole engine ran on visitors coming through and spending money. The city existed and in many ways to serve people who weren't from here. Now that story changing, and it's changing quite fast. In the last 5 years, and I've watched this shift accelerate in real time, Las Vegas has been building itself into a legitimate full-time residential city, not as a side project, as a priority. We have the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium, the Golden Knights, an incoming NBA franchise, Formula One races that brought a global spotlight to this beautiful valley, the Super Bowl, the NCAA Final Four, world-class events that don't just attract visitors anymore, they attract the residents. They attract businesses. They attract capital. Companies are relocating headquarters to Las Vegas. Entrepreneurs are choosing Nevada, of course, for the tax structure and the business environment. Remote workers are looking at this city and realizing they can keep the salary they earned in high-cost city like San Francisco or Seattle and dramatically upgrade the life it buys here. The median home price in Las Vegas is sitting around $460K. That number is real, and it reflects what the market has done and how the market has appreciated. $460K in a market like San Jose, that'll get you like a parking lot or something. You just see $460 is still a value play for a massive segment of the American population, specifically the segment that is currently most motivated to move. This city is not just growing, it's arriving. And the real estate market is the clearest evidence of that. Now let's go ahead and talk about what's being built, because this is where the story gets interesting. Las Vegas is experiencing a new construction boom that's happening on two completely different ends of the market at the same time. And that is genuinely rare. Most cities' growth cycle see development clusters in one segment. Vegas is doing both at once. On the luxury end, we are talking about a level of high-end development that would have seemed unlikely in this city 10 years ago. Communities like McDonald Highlands in Henderson and the Four Seasons private residences are attracting a buyer profile that used to exclusively look at Beverly Hills, Scottsdale, or Miami. Talking about custom architecture, resort amenities, guard-gated communities with golf and panoramic mountain views. Price points that start in the millions and go well north from there. These are not vacation homes. These are primary residences for people who've decided permanently that Las Vegas is where they want to live. That is the fundamental shift in the identity of this city. On the medium income end, builders like Toll Brothers, Lennar, Pulte, Richmond American are actively developing communities in Summerlin, Southwest Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson that are accessible to families in the 400 to 700K range. New construction, modern finishes, energy efficient homes, builder incentives, including rate buydowns and closing cost credits that make the numbers work even in a higher interest rate environment. Here's what I want you to understand as someone in this market that's in this market every single day. When you have luxury development and workforce housing development happening at the same time in the same city, this is a signal of what happens when a city stops being a tourist economy and starts being a real residential economy. Most markets get one or the other. Vegas right now is getting both at the same time. And the window where both exist at these price points before the overall market reprices upward again, that window is a small, finite window. I've placed buyers in new construction communities in this valley who are 6 months after closing have watched their neighbor's home list at prices meaningfully above what they paid for. That's appreciation in real time. That's what a growth market feels like from the inside. Let me tell you who is actually buying in this market right now, because it's not who you would expect if you were thinking about Las Vegas through an old lens. The California exodus is real and it's ongoing. I work with California buyers every month. Bay Area, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Orange County. These are not people who are struggling financially. Many of them are professionals. Many are business owners, remote workers who have been earning California incomes and are now making a calculated decision to stop paying California taxes, stop paying California housing prices, and stop dealing with California cost of living. They come here, they run the numbers, and not because Vegas is cheap. It is not as cheap as it was, but because the value relative to what they were leaving is substantial. A 600K home in Henderson or Southwest will cost $1.4 million in Pasadena. No state income tax. We got business-friendly environments. 180 degrees. 108 degrees in August is a real trade-off. I do get that. But for a lot of these buyers, middle-income families from across the country, not just California, we're seeing buyers from the Pacific Northwest, the Midwest, the Southeast, families who are stretched in their home markets, priced out of the neighborhoods they want, and are doing the research on where they can actually afford to live the life they are working towards. Las Vegas keeps showing up on their list. Entrepreneurs and remote workers, this might be the fastest growing buyer segment in this market right now. The post-pandemic shift to remote work permanently decoupled where people earn from where people live. And when you can live anywhere and affordability and quality of life, Nevada comes out near the top of everybody's list and the top of everybody's serious analysis. I've had clients move here specifically because the tax savings on their business income in a year would cover a significant portion of their down payment. That's not theoretical benefit. That is real, man. All right, so what does all of this actually mean if you're someone who's thinking about buying in Las Vegas? Let me go ahead and give you a real strategic picture. First, new construction incentives are real and time limited. Builders right now are offering incentives, interest rate buydowns, closing cost credits, free upgrades to move inventory and hit their quarterly sale target. These incentives exist because the market while strong, has been affected by higher interest rates, and they will not exist forever. When rates come down, and if they come down meaningfully, and most economists believe that when it comes down, not if, buyer demand is going to surge or even disappear because they won't need them anymore. The buyers who are purchasing new construction right now with a rate buy down are potentially getting the best of both scenarios. That is genuinely compelling to be in. Second, appreciation trajectory of this market is supported by real fundamentals. I'm not a speculator, okay? I don't tell clients that real estate only goes up. It doesn't. And anyone who tells you otherwise isn't being straight with you. But I do look at fundamentals: population growth, employer diversification, infrastructure investment, inbound migration patterns. Las Vegas scores well on every single one of those indicators right now. The growth is not hype. It's actually measurable. Third, the longer you wait, the more you pay for the same product. I've watched it over 20 years. The people who bought in Southwest Las Vegas 5 years ago are sitting on equity that changed their financial picture. The people who were going to buy 5 years ago are now trying to buy at price points that are significantly higher. And right now, with builder incentives, with motivated sellers in the resale market, with a buyer pool that hasn't fully returned to its peak frenzy yet, is a better time to be buying than the next cycle will offer. All right, I've given you the opportunity side. Now let me give you the real talk segment. The things you won't find in the market reports and the press releases. The heat is not a footnote. When people talk about Las Vegas quality of life, the summer heat gets mentioned briefly and then moved past. I refuse to do that. 115 degrees in July is a lifestyle altering reality. 115. It restructures your entire daily schedule. I restructure my whole day, my whole lifestyle. It affects your mental health. It really does. If you're not prepared for it, it will affect you. It costs you real money and utilities. People who thrive here make a conscious decision to adapt to the desert. People who don't prepare for it, they struggle. Full stop. The competition is real, particularly on well-priced resale homes. While the market has softened from well-priced homes in desirable neighborhoods, in this city still move fast, relatively fast. If you're relocating from out of state and you're expecting to take your time, see everything twice, and then negotiate at your leisure, you may get outmaneuvered. Preparation and decisiveness still matter here. Not every new construction community is created equal also. I said the new construction boom is real. It is, but there are communities being developed in locations and price points that are not going to deliver the appreciation and lifestyle that buyers are expecting. Lot premiums that aren't justified. HOA structures that will be financially burdensome long-term. Locations that look fine on the map, but create a real commute and lifestyle challenge in practice. You need someone on the ground who knows the difference before you actually commit. And overhyped expectations are still a risk. The narrative around Las Vegas is powerful right now. And powerful narratives attract people who haven't done the deep work. Some buyers are coming here based on a YouTube video. And some of those buyers are going to realize the reality does not match up to the expectation. Go in with clear eyes. This city rewards the people who are prepared. So I want to take a minute and talk about this from a personal space, because the data is what I've actually seen over 20 years in this city. That's a different kind of evidence. When I first got to Las Vegas, this was still largely a service economy city. The city was the center of gravity. The Strip was the center of gravity for almost everything. Employment, culture, economic activity. People who worked here were often transient. It was a city of people passing through, not a city of people building something permanent. I was one of those people in the beginning. Radio work, radio personality, VIP hosting. The Strip was part of my world. And what kept me here was watching something change. Slowly, at first, then faster and faster. I watched neighborhoods develop character. I watched families plant roots. I watched entrepreneurs show up and build real companies. I watched the city stop being purely about what happened on Las Vegas Boulevard and start being about what was being built in the communities on the west side, the south side, Henderson. I started buying into it, literally and figuratively. I got my real estate license. I started paying attention to the market with the eyes of someone who was going to be here for the long term. And what I've watched since then has validated that decision over and over again. The clients I've helped buy homes here 5, 6 years, they've built community. They've built a life that works. Not because Vegas is perfect. I've been very clear about that. Vegas is not perfect, but because this city rewards the people who commit to it with intention and preparation. The transformation I'm describing in this video isn't something I read in a report. It is something that I've lived. And I'm telling you, the chapter this city is entering right now is one of the most significant chapters in its entire history. I believe in this market, not blindly, not because it's my job to sell it, but because 20 years of watching it gives me a perspective that no data can fully capture. This city is building something real. And the people who recognize that right now, before the rest of the country fully catches up, are going to look very smart 5 years from now. If what I've covered today resonated with you, if you're looking at this city and the timing might be right for you, I want to help you take the next step with real information, not hype. I put together a free Las Vegas relocation guide that covers everything you need to evaluate this move seriously. Neighborhood breakdowns, new construction versus resale analysis, cost of living comparisons, builder incentive landscape, what to ask, what to watch for, and how to move strategically in this market. It's completely free. Link is in the description. Download it and read it before you make any decisions, including decisions about who to work with. And if you are at that point where you want to have a direct conversation about your timeline, your budget, your goals, your specific situation, reach out to me. DM me on Instagram, text me 702-505-3297. Go to my website. I do relocation strategy consultations and I take them seriously. No pressure, no pitch, just an honest conversation you deserve before you make one of the biggest decisions of your life. Download the guide. Let's have a conversation. Las Vegas is having a moment, but here's what I want you to understand. This isn't a moment. It's a movement. The infrastructure investment, the residential growth, the employer diversification, the luxury development alongside attainable housing, the migration of talent, capital, and ambition into this valley from across the country. This is not short-term trends. This is a city recalibrating its entire identity. The people who saw it coming, who bought in Henderson in 2018, who planted their flag in the Southwest in 2020, who believed in this market before it was obvious, those people are sitting on something significant right now. The next wave of those people exists. Maybe you're one of them. Come here with clear eyes. Come here with a strategy. Come with someone who knows this city the way I know it. And when you do, you're not just buying a home in Las Vegas. You're buying into one of the most compelling real estate stories in America right now. My name is Chriscashjalem. Neighbor first, realtor always, builder by nature. Las Vegas is for sale. The question is, are you ready to be a part of what it's becoming? I'll see you on the next one.